The origin and nature of black holes. I said that the huge portion of the metallic hydrogen nucleus of the giant red dwarf couldn't change into liquid and gas and didn't participate in the supernova explosion as the explosive material. It had no chance to do it before the supernova explosion. The metallic hydrogen nucleus was pressed from all sides because it was located in the center of the giant red dwarf. The shock wave of the supernova explosion hits the metallic hydrogen nucleus from all directions in the same time. In this way, the nucleus is subjected to additional enormous pressure and temperature directed from outside toward the remains of the metallic hydrogen nucleus. In case of the huge red dwarfs, extremely high pressure of the shock wave, together with temperature of 100 millions of Celsius degrees, create conditions necessary for the black hole birth. This is my model of black hole birth. Supernova destroys in a split of seconds connections and forces between the elemental components of hydrogen atoms, so that elements of the atomic structure like electrons, protons, all are pressed against these forces which normally kept them all in the proper distance. This requires an enormous energy, and this is what the supernova explosion provides. This is the third stage of the explosion, the most powerful and the most disastrous. It changes the matter of the dwarf into plasma and changes the remains of the metallic hydrogen nucleus in the center of the supernova explosion into the black hole. The black hole is born and it emits a lot of energy, the transformation of the matter into black hole. The process described here is not a fight of all red dwarfs, and whether a red dwarf becomes black hole or not depends on many factors. Mostly it is linked to the size and the temperature of the red dwarf. The nucleus has to be big enough to change into the black hole. If it not, it would not transform fully into the liquid and gas and would participate in the supernova explosion. If it is small dwarf, the small nucleus made of metallic hydrogen gradually changes completely into liquid and gas and evaporates to the surface where it is consumed in the corona as the fuel of the fusion. Such as small dwarfs can change in time into brown or black dwarfs. Sometimes the metallic hydrogen nucleus transforms fully into liquid and gas, but there is no thermonuclear fusion, and it becomes a white giant. There is a lot of other possibilities. Their origin is linked to metallic hydrogen nucleus, which is key element of many phenomena we observe in the outer space. And I propose in my thesis metallic hydrogen nucleus in the core of stars. As you can see, according to my version of events, the popular scientific thesis that the red dwarf just collapses into itself and because of forces of implosion, it explodes immediately after that as the supernova, just in the result of the implosion, are simply naive because they are based on false premises. There is no thermonuclear fusion inside stars and dwarfs. Without the idea of the metallic hydrogen nucleus, there would be no fuel necessary to cause the supernova explosion, and there would be no subject ready to be pressurized, nor conditions associated to the super-hyper explosion, which the supernova really is. Thanks to my model, it becomes understandable why only huge red dwarf stars can turn into black holes. Probably the smaller have no chance to make the explosion strong enough to produce the black hole, or cannot protect the critical portion of hydrogen metallic nucleus necessary to produce the black hole. Larger stars have such a gigantic nucleuses that their nucleuses can turn much easier into black holes due to the size of the supernova explosion they can produce and the size of the nucleus they possess before it happens. Always when black holes were discovered in space, usually they had masses of thousands of our suns, so we might predict that our sun is too small to form such a monster as black hole. it probably will die in another way. In my model, the temperature of red dwarf plays key role in the process of supernova ignition. In the scientific model, the temperature is not related to the supernova explosion, which also shows that the model is false, is incomplete or false.